So I seen we got a trailer for Armored Core 6. Apparently the game that From Software is coming out. You may know them from Elden Ring. Maybe. A couple people heard of that one. Gonna see what they're doing next. Heard they had this in the works. First time I'm seeing it. That already looks really cool. Like a cool sci-fi scape.
Wake the dog up.
With the solar panels that track across.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device.
Feed the fire. That's pretty cool. Like an upside down industrial area. Let the last cinders burn. Man, From Software really always does something with fire, don't they?
Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
Oh. That looks so cool. Oh, this is gonna be a whole different style. Holy shit. Like skirting around the battlefield. Very interesting. Oh, you got like what the hell? Is there gonna be like different mechs then that you're playing as? It looks like those are kind of like your classes is what mech you pick. That's pretty cool. I kind of want to get this game.
One of the infamous Handler Walter's hounds. Interesting. You ready to climb the wall?
Call sign Raven.
Man, I need to see some straight gameplay is what I need.
A coral response from the generator. Watch out.
Some big boss battles.
Why hide behind another's call sign?
And they really were able to put their own little style on it.
They can fly
Dang.
on borrowed wings.
That looks so cool. Fires of Rubicon. August 25th. It's coming out August 25th. That soon? What? What, like 6 months? Okay. And there was another one that I wanted to look at.
Building your online business.
Yeah, I wanted to look at this. Because apparently this is them talking about it. So I wanted to see what they had to
What's
say.
up, everyone? My name is Mitchell Saltzman,
From
and
IGN.
today I'm joined remotely all the way from Japan by producer Yasunori Ogura to talk all about
Oh yeah, they did a
Armored
little
Core 6.
video call with them.
How are you?
Let's see what they're going to talk
Hi
about.
there, I'm great, thank you. I'm Yasunori Ogura from Software, producer on Armored Core 6. It's great to be here.
How long has
Oh,
Armored Core 6 been in development?
Thank
and
you
what
for
has it
editing
been
it
like for
so
From
that he
Software
just-
to return to this franchise
The translator
that was such a
talks
big part of
while
the company
he
for such a long
talks.
time?
So, we have been cultivating development staff through our experience with recent titles, and there were many members of staff, including Miyazaki and myself, who've wanted to make a new Armored Core game for a long time. So, really,
Yeah,
not making a new
I'm sure they wanted to get away from
it was a case of when rather than
that medieval
As to
style a
the
little
game's
bit, doing it for a long
direction,
time.
and development, In around 2018, Miyazaki and some core members of the team began initial direction and forming the basic core concept of
The Armored Core
AC6.
concept.
And after prototyping was complete, our director Yamamura took over on the project.
It looks really
However, as you
frantic.
know, we have several projects going
I like
on
it.
at the same time within the company, so we had to get an ideal allocation of resources. We had to get the right staff on board, which resulted in a slightly longer wait, but we're happy to finally bring a new Armored Core to our fans.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the story of Armored Core 6 and whether newcomers will be able to jump right into this entry if they haven't
I'd
played
assume
any of the other
so.
ones?
I've never played an Armored Core.
This is a brand new story and has no direct link to previous titles.
It's just got a little
Takes
6
place in a
attached to
future
it.
Where interstellar travel is commonplace. Not on
Look at
Earth,
all
but
the
on a fictional planet
satellites.
in a distant star
I was focused on all the big ones that they got. I
Rubicon is
didn't
a
even notice that,
devastated
like,
planet that was razed to ash in a great disaster caused by the outbreak of a mysterious new substance called coral.
Activating cerebral coral control device.
coral. So they're gonna have some kind of
Which occurred half a century before the events
okay,
of the game took
some
place.
lore. Half a
At the
century.
outset of the game and the story, the player learns that coral, which was thought lost in this great disaster,
Yeah.
has been rediscovered, and extraterrestrial corporate forces have
Oh,
begun an invasion
aliens.
race to acquire the rights to this mysterious and powerful new substance. So they are. at
I wonder what
conflict
this substance
with
is
the
gonna do.
indigenous Forces,
Probably get some
resisting
pretty
their
cool
invasion
fucking
of
powers
the
off of it.
Rubicon.
I love that
Player,
shot.
as a lone independent mercenary and AC pilot, is thrust into this Rubicon war for the coral. So although AC6 is a numbered title, the setting and story are completely new.
That's
and we
good.
believe
That's
it
the
makes
that's the
a
best thing
great
they could have
first
done.
entry into the series for newcomers and old fans alike.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
So let's talk a little bit about Rubicon as a setting. Is there anything that's unique about the planet that will allow for kind of unique mission structures that people haven't seen in the Armored Core series previously?
There are two things we'd like to convey to both newcomers and old hands to the series. Armored Core offers two unique game experiences. First is this dynamic, three-dimensional action that can only be achieved with MECHS. And the second is the ability to customize your own personal AC by combining multiple parts, decorating it to your
Oh,
liking with painting and decals and the like. So these
So you'll combine it
player-assembled,
with multiple-
player-controlled ACs are able to fly freely through the air and handle multiple weapons
oh yeah.
simultaneously.
Hopefully
and
the multiple
turn on a dime,
weapons.
dash in different directions at once.
Bruh. Hopefully, no. What are we
freely
talking
through
about?
the air and handle multiple weapons.
I wasn't talking about that. But changing out the parts. So like, are they like the shoulder mounts? You'll be able to change this, like the shoulder mounts and like what kind of legs you got, or like, is he talking cosmetically? It doesn't seem like maybe it was just showing like, oh, you can have these 4 legs, and then later on it showed in the trailer that dude had like tank legs, like he had a tank body, literally.
Weapons simultaneously and turn on a dime, dash in different directions at once. This
Yeah,
makes
very
for a dynamic,
frantic movement.
very aggressive combat style that makes full use of the three-dimensional space. And we feel that this has always been an appeal of the Armored Core series and is an appeal of the mech action genre.
Oh yeah, it'll
For
be fun
die-hard
as
Armored
hell.
Core fans, what are the elements of Armored Core 6 that those hardcore fans are going to find appealing about this game?
With AC6, one area we focused on was to make sure that the customization aspect is not just about parameters going up and down and numerical values changing, but how these changes are reflected in the feel of the action as much as possible. In particular, the leg parts, which control the AC's movement, you
Yeah.
might have a tank type legs. That
Yep,
perform
yep,
drift
like
turns.
just like I
And
mentioned.
this changes the very basic behavior and traversal type of the AC. We also made sure that the behavior
Okay, so when you change out your legs, that's going to change the type of movement. So there's probably going to be a type of movement dedicated to each leg piece, and probably not unique, I'd imagine, unless they have a low number of pieces per slot. And instead of going for a huge number of things, they'll go for like, I don't know. Could you get like 10 different like movement styles? To find out more. Tell me more.
Weapons, such as the way they shoot, how they recoil, how their projectiles behave. We tried to make sure that this all makes a big difference in how the game feels and plays.
Yeah, you gotta have different
speaking a little
feels in
bit
the
about that
classes
customization,
that they
Armored Core
got.
games have a
Like,
bit of a
build your own
reputation for
class,
being very
like their other
complex,
games.
with many stats to consider, parts to swap in and out. Is there anything else that you guys are planning on doing with Armored Core 6 to make it a little more approachable for newcomers who might not be used to that level of complexity?
As you mentioned,
Swapping parts in and out
Armored Core has always
is
been a
considered
game
complex.
with many parameters and is a game
I
where
mean,
you
it's
can enjoy the
RPG aspects.
complexity and depth it offers, but we feel it's also a game where you can enjoy simply by assembling your AC without thinking too deeply about it.
Behind every great soybean farmer,
Just the appearance to your liking, and simply get out there and pilot it and take it into combat. That said, in regard to new players, we've taken careful steps with the onboarding and level design in the early stages of the game,
Okay.
so that players can deepen their understanding step by step, little by little, and work their way into that fun.
They just designed it with
parts.
the early player in
We've also
mind that
prepared
aren't
a
familiar
training
with Armored Core,
simulator
because
where the player can learn the basics
training
of
simulator,
action and
because they probably assume that people like me who never really played the Armored Core series is now going to kind of get in on it because they got a huge name like From Software behind the development.
assembly using sample ACs, and we've also tried to make the controls more intuitive, so that we hope that those who have no experience with the series will feel free to enter and enjoy the feel
me.
of piloting their very own Armored Core.
Are there any lessons that you guys have learned over the many years you spent developing the Souls games that you take into the development of Armored Core 6, even though
a
they're
good
kind
question.
of two very different genres?
Armored Core 6 is an attempt to take both the knowledge and experience gained from the development of our previous titles and combine it with the
Dude, this
fun
game's gotta be
of mech
sick.
customization that the AC series has always embraced. And in this sense, we hope to create a new mech action game that is worthy of modern From Software standards. Specifically, we're developing this game with an awareness of the things that From Software has always embraced in its other action games, such as a intricate map structure, combat design
Awesome.
that allows players to deal with enemies by carefully.
And this is
observing
why I
movements,
trust them,
and
because
the
they made
ability to
something like
overcome
fucking
challenging
Elden Ring,
situations
man.
with
It was so
ingenuity
dense.
and creativity.
So dense.
These are all, of course, things we've kept in mind.
I didn't even
with
finish it.
6 as well. However, as you mentioned, the basic format and genre of Armored Core is completely different from games in, for instance, the Souls lineage. So there are no aspects of the game mechanics or gameplay that can be directly observed.
You ready to climb the wall?
Can you talk a little bit about your goals with the combat design, and are there any kind of mechanics that players should know about that perhaps didn't exist in previous Armored Core games?
In terms of points we focused on this time around, I would say that individuality of the melee weapons is one of the key points.
So
Armored
they
Core
added
is mainly
more melee
a
styles.
shooting game at heart, and that's
Right,
exactly
makes sense.
why we had this policy of having more unique.
I
melee
mean,
weapons
the
this time around.
anime always
So in
had a
addition to
ton
the
of like
well-known pile bunker
like
and
like
the cluster
giant
launcher that
swords
you
on the
might have
mechs
seen in the
too.
trailer, there are also a variety of weapons with different animations and more unconventional characteristics, such as a chainsaw and a laser lance, and things like this.
That's
In the
okay,
trailer,
that's
you may
perfectly
have also
fun.
seen a part where the core is deployed by an AC to generate a shockwave, and the
I
pile
like
bunker
that.
is then used against an opponent who is reeling back from this shockwave. This kind of building combos with multiple weapons aspect is an appeal of AC6's unique assembly and combat, and we hope the players will enjoy using their creativity. And
Oh, I'm
asking
sure they got a
themselves,
system
what
going
combination
that
of
lets
weapons can
you
I use
combo
to
a lot of different
create
things
my
off each
ideal
other.
combo attacks and
Yep.
secure victory.
So is there any one new thing, whether it's a mechanic or a mech part or a weapon, that you're particularly proud of and are excited for players to experience in Armored Core 6?
I'd like players to mostly look forward to something we touched on earlier, which is this using their ingenuity and creativity to create a combination of their own making, and a combination of the various
I
parts
like how he
at
asked
their
for a
disposal.
specific thing,
So, for example,
and he's
they
like,
might be
I just like that people can
dashing
make their own
across the
stuff.
battlefield while shooting ballistic weapons and letting missiles fly in every which direction. These missiles will connect with their enemy, knock them off balance, and then they'll use their assault boost to dash in with a quick burst of speed and finish with a melee strike. This kind of player-created combo and their own unique combination of weaponry and mobility will allow for this offensive
I guess
style
you
of AC combat.
is stunning them and then meleeing them is a combo.
And that new and old fans alike can enjoy.
As long as they have
Multiplayer
interesting
has
ways
always
to do
been
those
a big
things.
part of the Armored Core series. Is there anything you can tell us about multiplayer in Armored Core 6?
So I believe ACV was more focused on multiplayer as the last title in the series, but first of all, the main content of AC6 is positioned as a single-player campaign mode where you progress through a more traditional mission structure. There will be an online PvP mode where players can compete against each other with.
He didn't mention
ACs
it at first, so I didn't think that there was going to be a PvP, but it'd be weird not to have PvP.
First and foremost, the story missions in AC6 are single player only. We would like players to go
It's okay to be single player focused.
Lone mercenary lifestyle and enjoy this aspect of the game.
Yeah.
First and foremost. We do hope to share more details about the online aspect at a later date, so please stay tuned for that.
I will.
Let's see how far they can
God, it looks so
fly.
cool.
On borrowed wings.
Look at that. Oh, I missed. Look at it. Man, FromSoft always comes up with some great designs. Their design team is top notch. Tippy top. I can't wait for this. I want some straight gameplay. That's what I need. I need just gameplay with the HUD on it and run around and kill shit for 10 minutes. I need to see it straight. I want some of the customization. What kind of weapons we gonna have? Is gonna be shoulder mounts and arm weapons? Like how many different movement styles are there? You said it's gonna change around the movement styles. There's so many questions. I need answers.